Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 17, and welcome back to Dolnośląska Wieś, Poland. So, we got some problems. We got some good things going on, we got some bad things going on, but we got some problems. I'll tell you what's up. So, first thing is, this is field 31. This is field 31. This is the one that we did last week on camera. This is field 30, I just forgot already, 33. This is field 33. I just did this one off camera, and here is our straw swath. As promised, we're going to make some straw bales. Now, if you look in the top right corner of the screen, you can see in our seasons menu, our seasons forecast menu, and above in just the regular game HUD, you can see that little rain cloud. It is going to rain. Now, it is pretty much a blue sky, and the sky will get cloudy in seasons, maybe 15 or 20 minutes before it rains, maybe half an hour. But you look over here, beginning to, you know what I'm saying, just a little bit, get a little cloudy. If this gets wet, we'll lose it. I believe as soon as it gets wet, like the instant the first drop of rain touches it, I think we lose about 50% of the volume. And then continuing, right, after you lose that first big chunk. And eventually it will all be gone. I think the last of it goes away at midnight after it rains. Yeah, but regardless, straw rots in rain in seasons. It's one of the things that I like about seasons. However, not really liking it right now. Could be problematic for us. So we need to do something about that. And the first thing we're going to do is empty our little tipper, which really has nothing to do with that, but it's kind of a thing. Why am I having zero brake effect? What the hell? What's going on? That was crazy. The brakes weren't working. What? Okay. Now they're working. I have no idea what that was. And now I don't know what's going on here. Wow. Okay, we're off to great start. Oh man, games have just been kicking my ass lately. I don't know what is going on. Right. Unlock the diff. Unlock the hubs. Jeezy Pete's. I don't know what happened there. As we got to the side of the field, the brakes, I mean, we weren't slowing, just absolutely nothing. It was as though the brake function was disabled. That was very unnerving. Right. So the rain is our first problem. I'm going to tell you our second problem. I can't find a silo on this map. I can't find a place to store crops on this map. I've looked everywhere. There's no icon for it. Now there is a silo at the farm. In fact, I'll drive past it. I'll show it to you. There is a silo at the farm, but it doesn't work, and there's no icon for it. Now it does have two little barricades in front of it. But because this is also the map with the rocks in the fields, I thought, oh, well, that's just the map maker being clever, you know, because you can move them by hand with Farmer's Touch, and I did. And I thought, you know, they're just decorative static objects, and I'll move them, and then we'll be good to go. Not so. Not so. There is no functionality at that silo that I can see. So at the moment, we have no place to store our crops, and that is a huge problem for us because we have pigs, and pigs need all kinds of stuff. They need canola, they need corn, they need, you know what I mean? A lot of stuff. And we would store it in silos and give it to them as they need it. We can't, right? So I don't know what we're meant to do about that. Now, this is not a silo. That is a scale, I think. So check this out. Right over here. Yeah. See these? Now, I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to turn this tractor off. You can hear it, right? You can hear something going on over here. I've checked all these boxes. Checking all my boxes. I've checked these boxes. I cannot find any place to, like, turn it on. You know? Like, he took it out. He took it out. So there's these little barricades. And you can pick them up and move them with Farmer's Touch, and I did. But even after I moved them, you know, nothing happened. We go over here, and there's 2 more of them over here, and the same thing. Like, I won't go through the whole process, but I moved these. I pulled up here, and there is there's no tippage. No place to tip. I don't get it. Now, one thing I haven't tried yet is I have not looked here. Storage capacity, 120,000 liters. I can't find it. I genuinely can't find it. I mean, that's encouraging because it tells me it's somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Here, I'll show you on this as well. So there's, going from top left to top right, this is a buy point, is it not? Spinnery, this is a buy point. This is the sawmill. I mean, we can try this. I was going to go up here to sell, but we can try this little place up in the corner as well. But at the moment, I'm baffled. I'm baffled. And in a little bit of a panic, I have to say. Because I don't think we can make money if we're constantly buying pig food for our pigs. I think the only way we can make money is if we grow the crops and feed them ourselves. So we'll see. For now, let us go. Jeezy Pete's. For now, let us go to the top left corner of the map, the northeast corner of the map, and see if we can figure out just what the F time it is. Because right now, I'm at a bit of a loss. So that is our second problem to solve. And we'll get that sorted as well. If we can't find a place to store these, then we'll just sell them. As I sold the last one, and I got about I want to say about 10,000 euro for the deal. We want to go there. We want to go there. We want to go there. Going third person. Yeah, we don't want to go there. We want to go there. We want to go here. Right on. So yes, that's goal number 1, is to get, well, ideally to get this stuff stored. And I want to store it because, number 1, well, in this case, wheat, we'll need wheat to feed to our little piggies. But I also would prefer to sell it for a better price. And at the moment, prices are pretty low, as they are during harvest season. But they'll go up in the winter. And that's when I would prefer to sell this stuff. So that's the first problem. The second problem is getting that straw up before it rots in the field, which will happen if it gets wet. So we're going to solve these problems one at a time, and that will be the next problem that we solve. Now, I did consider doing the straw pellet maker, right? Because we don't really need bales. I did consider the straw pellet maker, and here's the problem with that. The straw pellet maker is part of the Straw Harvest add-on by Aerosoft, which is a paid third-party DLC. And it's always been a little dodgy. I know the folks that make More Realistic included that almost immediately, right? So More Realistic comes with, when you run the More Realistic mod, like all the base game self-propelled vehicles are covered. And most of the base game implements are covered, and then they added things like the Coon Pack, they added the Ropa Pack, right? So the developers of More Realistic are pretty good about keeping base game equipment included, but then they also added in the Straw Harvest add-on, right? So that has More Realistic compatibility, which basically means, where's our turn here? Is it here? Ah, I see a gate. That could be it. Which basically means that any vehicle that has been made More Realistic compatible has the correct weights in it, the correct mass, acceleration, braking, all that stuff. This looks like a scale. Sure does. I do not get the tip icon. Go up and over. Or let's just go through. Up and over. There we go. Up and over. Eventually. Yes, there we go. So, this looks like it's just potatoes. Okay. All right, that was kind of my last hope. I mean, there is a barn, but I don't know how to access it. I don't know how to get to it. So we're in a bit of a pickle. Because we got to sell this stuff for less than it's potentially worth. But I just don't know how to get that working. I did not see a way to turn it on. I know some German maps, you have to buy facilities like that. If that makes sense? Sort of activate them. I didn't see anything like that, so I don't know. I don't know. I mean, let's take one more look. But, yeah, I don't see it. I mean, let's see. Oh, yeah. That's the sawmill. I mean, it would seem like you would think that it would be that facility that's on the farm, but unless it needs turned on, and I'm just, there goes my voice, and I'm just not able to turn it on, I don't know. I don't know. But so it goes. Anyway, the straw harvest add-on. Yep, they added more realistic to it, and the straw pellet maker, it says it requires 360 horsepower. With 360 horsepower, right? With is that where I wanted to turn? Yeah, I think it was. With oh geez, things are going from bad to worse here today on the farm. With 360 horsepower on your tractor, that thing absolutely will not move. And the most that I've ever had on it was I had a Fendt 1000, I believe, with like 775 horsepower, and it was moving the thing at, 1 kilometer an hour. Kind of strange. So they are, Airsoft has they've patched straw harvest up to like 1.2.0, I think. But I don't know. It still says that it requires 360 horsepower. The most powerful tractor we have is our Deutz-Fahr, and that is 260 horsepower. And I thought, you know what? Let's just be on the safe side, because we don't need any drama, and let's skip the pellet maker for now. I do like it. It's a fun piece of kit, but it's frustrating because it just goes so incredibly slowly. Now, we're going to sell right here. There we go. Not happy about this. But what can you do? What can you do? Right. $7 grand. And here we go. So we'll head back to our wheat fields. And I think, yeah, I think we'll be able to hopefully get a bunch of bales in before the rain. Now, next question is, where do you want to put them? I don't think we're going to put them anywhere. I think we're just going to sell them straight away, because we have plenty of straw bales for our pigs. We don't have that many pigs. We don't need that many bales. You know what I mean? We don't need as many bales as we have. We certainly don't need any more bales. So we'll get that taken care of. And the rest of that wheat, now it says it's going to rain for the next 3 days. That doesn't mean it's going to rain continually for the next 3 days. That just means that over the next 3 days it will rain at some point on every day. Probably. The forecast in seasons is fun, because like real life, it's not 100% accurate. It's pretty accurate, but not 100%. So it is likely to rain at least a little bit on each of the next 3 days, today and the next 2 days rather. But it may not. Regardless, we're going to have to assume that harvest is going to be a little bit tight, because that'll push us all the way through to the last day of summer. Now, typically, when you transition from summer to fall, things happen. Crop withering is on, because we're running seasons. You can't turn it off. So any wheat that we have not harvested, we should be fine through fall. I don't think we're going to have withering during the fall, but at some point, any crop that we have still in the field will begin to wither. So hopefully with the rain, we don't run out of time. We have to do our potatoes too, and I'm on the fence about that as well, because there's some fun ROPA equipment. Obviously, we're not going to use the big self-propelled ROPA harvester, because it's incredibly expensive. I think it's like 38,000 euro to rent it. That's a non-starter. I don't even think we have access to 38,000 euro. Our combined loan and all the cash we have in the checking account, I think, would still not be enough to rent that thing. However, I also don't want to use the rooster. And there's a kind of an in-between, piece of in-between kit in the Ropa DLC that we may use. We may use it. I don't know. But worst comes to worst, we'll just use the rooster because it's pretty affordable. I think you can rent that, both pieces, I think you can rent for just a couple thousand euro. So, yeah, man, I have really been struggling with gaming the past, well, since like Wednesday or Thursday. Today is Monday. Monday for me, Tuesday for you. And I have really been struggling with gaming. It is the craziest thing. And it's, I mean, I'm not like the best video game player in the world. I don't pretend to be. So, you know, any problems, I'm more than happy to like accept responsibility for them myself and say, sure, that's my fault. But I feel like some stuff has been happening that's not my fault. You know what I mean? That kind of makes you wonder. I'm going to let that run as we do on our farms. Don't want to turn a piece of equipment off when it's too hot. You know, let it cool down. Right. So if you know where the barn is, the silo on this map, let me know. Because I sure as heck can't find it. Or if I did find it at the farm and I just haven't turned it on, let me know that as well. So here's what we got. We've got, now this is from the Straw Harvest add-on as well. It's a little Krona round baler. And then I went ahead and bought this trailer. And in fact, as I'm looking at it, it's kind of bugging me because you can see it's at a bit of a wonky boo-boo angle. How do we... is that that? Is that that? I know there's a way to like do that. Do that. I'm feeling like it wants to. I can hear something moving around. Well, we might just have to come back to it. Okay. Yeah, there's a way to adjust, I believe, the tongue so that it sits flat. But we'll do that another time. Right. Into the Deutz. Fire it up. Great sound on this tractor. Love it. Going to turn the map off. We don't need that. Here we go. So this, the baler is rented. The trailer we bought. We bought the trailer because, always clipping through the wall. Bought the trailer because if we don't have access to a silo, if we can never get that sorted out, then we are going to have to buy pig food by the pallet and put it on well, put it on a trailer. Put it on our trailer. Now we could, what do we do this? We want to unfold. Okay. Apparently it doesn't unfold. We want to turn it on. Drop that. Any other adjustments we need to make? Bale size 1.3. I think that's about right. Is that right? 5.5, 1.8, 0.1. Trying to think what the regular size is. I want to say it's 1.3. Well, I guess we'll find out. Ready? Here we go. And I did not rake. I'm going to slow down a little bit here too. I did not rake. I figured it'll be just as quick to get out and start making bales as it will to spend an evolution raking the field and then make bales faster, if that makes sense. So yeah, with the rain coming, I thought let's just get out there and try to get as much straw off the field as possible before we lose any of it. So yeah, pig food. We'll have to buy it by the pallet if we can't find a place to store corn and canola and sunflower seeds and that sort of stuff. And yeah. Now it is nice to see that there is at least an indication that there is silo volume somewhere on the map. We just have to find it. We just got to find it, and once we do that, then we're good to go. Now, I'm wondering about something. I just thought of something. We used this on a Lancey Boy farm, did we not? Sorry, concentrating. We used this baler on a Lancey Boy farm, did we not? And it does make an odd-sized bale. I think we should have gone with 1.55. Well, it's too late. So, yeah, man, it's been a struggle past couple days. Always interesting when that happens. And as I said, it's you know, it's happening to me, so it's in all likelihood something that I'm doing. I don't know, maybe I'm just stressed. Maybe I'm just all stressed out and losing my mojo. I have no idea. It is a pretty stressful time for me, but I don't know. I get that weird perspective thing where I think about my life and I'm like, oh, I'm incredibly stressed, and then I'm like, no, I'm not. No, there's other people in the world that have a lot more things to worry about than I do. And that's true, but that doesn't mean I don't have anything to worry about. There it is, 3,300. Okay. Oh no. Back it up just a little bit. Right about there. Unload. Now what's going on? Oh my goodness. Unload baler. That's what I said. What? This is what I'm talking about. So the baler is selected. Easy Pete's. Yeah, it's just little stuff like this. It seems like, I wouldn't say everything is going wrong, but it just seems like everything is taking more effort than it should and more effort than it has in the past. And I don't know if that's I don't know what the cause of that is, but it's kind of getting old. Right, so I'm trying to think how many bales that trailer holds. Probably 20, 24, I don't know. It holds a bunch. So, trying to think if we should bale this whole field. No, we probably won't, because we're at 22 minutes. Let's, and I'm actually going to skip this row. I'm going to drive over it a little bit. I'm going to skip this row because that's not the next row. Next row is over here, kind of hidden. So let's, trying to think how we want to do this. We're at 23 minutes. I want to go 30 minutes. We'll think of something. We'll think of something. Right. Okay, now we got our mojo going. And that, how far is that one going to go? All the way to the highway? Maybe. There we go. Maybe not to the highway. We'll see. And I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Everything else I think I've mentioned in previous videos in the past few days as far as new stuff coming out. New Pro Mods is out. New DLC for ATS is going to be Washington. There's a couple new racing sims coming out, but you know what I realized is I sort of have, it's going to sound weird when I say this, I'm not trying to be an ass, but I already have like all the racing sims that there are. And the only other ones beyond that are the ones that are released annually, like F1 2015, 16, 17, etc. MotoGP, etc. Right? There's a new one every year. But Project Cars 3, I haven't heard a peep about that. Newest set of Corsa Competizione is coming out in like early access couple of bits and pieces are coming out here and there. iRacing just had a massive update, so that's their thing, right? But there's no new iRacing. There's not, you know, there's no iRacing 2. It's just the current iRacing just had a big update, added day-night, all kinds of stuff. So there's that, and there's I'm trying to think what else. Nothing on the horizon for R Factor. Nothing on the horizon for Race Room. You know, so for the most part, I think my racing sims are pretty static. We just had our new farm sim. That's not going anywhere. And nothing for ATS or ETS other than DLC. So yeah, I think things in my world are actually pretty static in terms of like what games are coming out and sims that we're into, or that I'm into. When I say we, I mean me, of course. So yeah, no real news to report. Just baling up some straw. Make a big turn here. Yeah, now I was going to use the auto load feature on that trailer. I mean, it's got it, and we are in a bit of a time crunch, but I suspect that if I do, it's going to leave a little gap, because I think these are slightly undersized bales. You know, 3,300 liters versus 4,000. So I suppose, man, I suppose, not there. I suppose I could throw some of these on the trailer before the end of the video just to see how they stack up, so to speak. Tell you what, we're at 5. Let's go to 12 or something. Yeah, let's go to 12 bales and see how those look on the trailer. And then we'll call it. But now that we sort of have our rhythm, we should be able to get there fairly quick. Now everything from the Straw Harvest add-on does have manual fill if you want to. So you can on your baler, you can add your netting. On your pellet maker, you can add water and molasses manually. I think that's a nice touch. I got hooked on that with the Krona Ultima. Is it ARM modding that makes that like the greatest bale mod ever? And I like the idea of adding consumables like that manually. I always do that with my loading wagons if it's available. I like to add silage additive and blades manually. I think that's a cool detail. I like those details when it comes to farming. I like having to do, you know, like all the little things that a farmer would have to do, other than, I have to say, other than like manually loading. But I think the problem that I have with manually loading in this game is that the bale dynamics and the log dynamics and the pallet dynamics suck. They always have. And it's a bit of a mystery to me that, you know, that seems to be such a consistent complaint. The lifting dynamics and the AI. But whatever. Giants knows what they're doing. They say. So we're making short work of this straw. I was concerned, I have to say. I was very concerned that we would get rained on, but we've still got a mostly clear sky. It's getting a little bit cloudy around the edges, but we've got a mostly clear sky, so I think we're going to be okay. And at least get the bulk of this off the field. I'm curious whether we're ever going to be profitable on this farm. It is possible that we are not, because it's a pretty, our loan is big, crop prices are really, really low. I just don't know if we're ever going to be profitable. I think getting into the pigs may have been a mistake. I think that cost us about $100 grand. And we also took quite a big hit on equipment that I bought that I didn't need to buy. That's on me. And then sold for a loss after having used it once. I should have just rented it. And things like the rake and the mowers. But live and learn. And you know what the best part is? It's just a game. Who cares? You know, just have some fun with it. And yeah, I forget that sometimes. I don't have enough fun with it. Take it a little too seriously. So I think now we've just done headlands on field 34. So we should get some more wheat, some more straw out of there as well. I don't know. Maybe we'll make money this year. I don't think so. I don't think we'll even be out of debt. Alright, so that goes there. Roll here. Fantastic. Yeah, I don't know how you feel about auto load. I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm definitely okay with it when I'm gaming off camera. Doesn't bother me at all. I know some people it really bothers them. They hate the idea. But when I think about auto load, I think about course play, you know, and there are certainly instances on a farm where you would pay somebody to load a trailer. What's the big deal? I think what it comes down to is that some people are better at loading bales than others. And people that are good at loading bales say everybody should load their bales manually. It's part of the game. And they're right. They're right, in a way. But if it's something that you don't like, that you're not good at, you know, it is just a game. It is just a game. And there are plenty of things in the game, in the sim, that we have found workarounds for to sort of avoid tedious tasks. And for me, loading bales that's pretty tedious, I have to say. Now, I would like to see, and I wish there was, kind of a middle path where you did have to manually drive a loader of some kind, either a front loader or a telehandler, skid steer, whatever. You did have to manually drive that piece of equipment, but the blade sort of snatched up the bale, like kind of an auto load function, and then it automatically transferred it to the trailer when you got within a certain window. So essentially you would need to drive your, let's say, front loader. You would need to drive your tractor with a front loader to the bale at a certain angle, right? You couldn't, you know what I mean? You would need to pick it up as though you were picking it up. But when you got close enough, even if you weren't exactly lined up, as long as you were within a range, you know, making a good effort, then it would snap it to whatever it was you were using to load, bale spike or tongs or whatever. It would snap it to that implement, to that attachment. And then you drive to where your trailer is, and the same thing. You can't just, like, you know, crash into it from behind and it throws it in place next in line up at the front. But if you got approximately, you know, in the position where you would be to actually unload that bale, when you got within a certain threshold, then it would snap it to the trailer and load it with the rest of them, right? Consider it loaded, so to speak. So a bit of a compromise where you still need to, you know, put the time in. It's not just driving around and having everything snapped to the trailer, but at the same time, it's not, you're not making yourself crazy if loading bales is not your thing, and as it is not my thing, not even close. And it's something that I can do, but I really don't enjoy it. Square bales I'm okay with, but round bales, no. And occasionally pallets, but it's the pallet physics and the bale physics, man. Every time I end up with a pallet stuck to my pallet forks and can't get it off there, it just makes me crazy, you know. Just when you have them tilted 60 degrees radical and it won't slide off, what am I supposed to do here? So this is number 11. Going a little too fast there. This is number 11. All right. So we'll throw number 12 in here. We'll do a quick, where are we at? 34 minutes? Perfect. We'll do a quick run around the field with our auto-loading trailer, and we'll call it good. And then I will, I'll finish harvesting. I'll finish bringing in the rest of field 34, And I will probably bring those bales in as well. And I will continue looking for the farm silo. But I don't know, man. I can't find them. I absolutely can't find them. That down. Beautiful. There's that one. Right. Turn all that off. Pull this right over here. Set the brake. Leave it running. And we're going to head across. We've got our MB track with our trailer right across the highway. So yeah, man, I'm digging this map. I don't know. I don't know where the silo is. I'd be digging it more if I could find that. But we'll figure it out. There's our Neva, our little tiny Russian combine harvester. Treated us right. This has cooled down, so we're going to turn this off. That's good to go. Run across the highway here. And I think we'll be just about ready to call it. All right, safety first. Right in here. In we go. Start it up. Brakes off. Let's do this now. Let's do this now. Loading HUD is on. Right. Goods. Round bales. Round bales. Right. Okay. Oh. We just absolutely ran over a chicken. But they're okay. They're okay. They're very durable. Not adorable. Try not to clip through the wall. Making our move. Going for it. Thank you, sir and or ma'am. All right, all right. Right. First bale is there. Now, I don't know if you saw, so look in the top left corner, and by tapping by tapping Z, we get our bale sizes. So we get the Ultima 1.4 meter, Ultima 1.5 meter. Only thing we had was 1.3 and 1.55 for the baler that we used. However, there is just regular round bales. Now these are going to be the wrong size, and so I believe they're going to have a gap between them and look very silly. But what can you do? So loading mode is on. Let's see what we get here. So far, so good. Yeah, because there's no actual collision physics for the bales after they auto-load. It's just the size of the object. Yeah, that's pretty close. It's pretty close, I have to say. Yeah, there's a bit of a gap there. Not a big deal. I think it's going to look all right. And I think we may get 12 just in our first course. which would be fine. Let's go get all these little runaways from down here. Yep. Well, that worked out perfectly. So we've got 12 on the bottom. Now, what I can do... Oh, whoa, whoa. Save game. What I can do is... basically unload the trailer to itself. I don't know if you know that trick. But what we would do is we would tell the trailer to unload. When you unload an auto-load trailer, you can unload it to the left, the right, or the back. Or none. And when you unload it to itself, it basically just drops the load onto the trailer where it already is. And then at that point, you strap it down. And then at that point, I could use the front loader to put the next course of bales manually on top of there. That is a possibility as well. That is a possibility as well. Regardless, I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it, folks. Here's your screenshot. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Farming Simulator 17 from Dolnośląska Wieś, Poland. And we'll see you next time. Take care now.